talk with you guys first. Obviously, this hearing was previously set, and there was, I think, an issue with notice of the hearing. And so I decided it was best to just reset it to today. And so I'm glad everybody could be here. This is actually on a pretrial calendar. This is a pretrial conference for a contract. It looks like a credit card dispute. As best I can figure, Amex has initially sued Taylor Mac Enterprises and Zooland Berry for about a $28,000 credit card balance. Taylor Mac has now been dismissed. And I think from what I could tell, Ms. Berry's main assertion of defense was that the credit card was intended to be a corporate credit card and not hers. And so that's sort of where we are. The reason we're having the pretrial conference is to figure out if there are any pretrial issues, if there's a possibility of resolving the case, and then otherwise plan to go to trial. Ms. Gardner, as the plaintiff, how long? I don't believe there's a jury demand here. I believe this would be a bench trial. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, bench trial.
And how long do you think it would take for you to present your portion of the case?
No more than an hour or so.
Okay. Ms. Berry, you are representing yourself. Are you an attorney?
No, I'm not, but I've been trying to see if I can find an attorney that's cost effective because the company is no longer in business. And I
Right.
just got laid off last week.
I'm so
So
sorry.
that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. So I'm in no way, shape, or form able to defend myself, but at this point, I don't have an attorney and can't afford to be able to pay one.
Okay. I understand. So what will happen, right, is, so let me, to help you understand, I don't know if you'll be able to retain an attorney at this late date. I don't know if you could afford it and all those sorts of things. I will tell you that this case is going to be set down for trial. And if you were to retain an attorney at this late hour, they would need to be prepared for the fact that the case is set for trial. And so if you do hire somebody, they'll need to understand it. It's not as if they're going to be able to walk in and say, "Hey, judge, can I have a continuance? I just got hired." And so I do want to make sure that you understand that. Ms. Gardner, are there any motions or issues other than just, figuring out how much time it would take that would be, excuse me, that we would need to address here today?
Not today, no.
Okay. Ms. Berry, anything that you think we should address today before we figure out what we're going to do about setting the case down for trial?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So this was on the calendar with an anticipated, let me get my actual calendar up, with an anticipated trial week of August the 26th. I believe I have an opening for a civil bench trial on the 27th. At 9 a.m. We could, so, and then I guess the next question is if it's, I don't know what witnesses or what you're planning to do in terms of presentation. One issue is, does anybody have, typically when I'm having a trial, even if it's a bench trial, I would typically do it by, in person and have you come to the courthouse. I can do it by Zoom if that's easier for everyone. If we're just talking about, one or two witnesses, it's really up to you. What are your thoughts, Ms. Gardner?
We would just have one witness and would be fine doing it by Zoom.
Ms. Berry?
By Zoom is fine.
Okay. So how about we set this matter down for bench trial on Tuesday, September the 27th. I'm sorry, August the 27th. At 9 a.m. and we'll do it by Zoom. Mr. Freehoff will email the two of you a Zoom notice, a link. So Ms. Gardner, obviously you're an attorney, so you have an idea of how this goes. Ms. Berry, I'm technically not supposed to help you because you know, I'm not supposed to give somebody special treatment because they don't represent themselves, but I do want to make sure you understand that the day that this is set down for September the 27th, that will be the day for you to present any issues you have. Any defenses you have that, you know, any documentation or witness you have that you think would assist me in determining whether or not you owe this debt, you personally owe this debt, and the amount of any debt that you owe. And so that I just want to make sure you understand that that will be the time for you to present that, because at the close of the plaintiff's case, it will be, I mean, you'll be allowed to ask questions of plaintiff's witnesses, but at the close of plaintiff's case, you would be able to present anything you wanted, and then I would hear argument. And on these types of cases, I typically will issue a ruling right then. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that August 27th is the day that y'all would have to present all that information. Do you have any questions, Ms. Berry, that I'll try and answer if I can, just about procedure or how things are going to go?
No, like I said, I'm gonna just try to see if I can get an attorney to at least give me some information as to how I should proceed.
Okay. And I understand, Ms. Berry, you've already mentioned that, you know, you have, you know, gotten laid off, and that, you know, I assume this wouldn't have gotten to this point, you know, because the business is gone, is no longer operating. But I do want to ask, so the reason I say all that is I understand money might not be something you just have ready access to right now to satisfy this debt if you were to owe it. But I do have a question about whether or not y'all have talked at all about how you might resolve the case, if it can be resolved, that sort of thing. Ms. Gardner, have you had a chance to speak to Ms. Berry?
We have not, and we're prepared to go forward on the 27th, but I didn't know if the court might entertain pushing this out a little further to maybe give us some time to discuss it since we've gotten to this point. And this is the first time I've spoken to Miss Berry. We've not been in communication with her at all.
Okay. Well, now you're in good communication, and you've got 2 weeks to figure out if y'all can resolve the case or otherwise try the case. And do respect Ms. Gardner, but just these types of cases tend to plug up the docket, and they are fairly straightforward. Either the debt is owed or it's not owed, and usually there's just a maybe some issues about the amount of the debt or that sort of thing. But these are fairly straightforward, both from a plaintiff and a defense perspective, and there's just not a lot of good reason to extend them.
I understand. If I could, Miss Berry, if you don't mind, could I get a contact number for you?
Yes, 404-396-4402.
Also, I sent an email to the two of you this morning, so you should have each other's email address and the ability to contact one another that way as well.
Right.
Thank you.
And so, you know, if the parties work something out, let me know. I mean, again, Ms. Berry, I can't give you any advice, but I can tell you from my experience, a lot of these cases end with a consent order, right? Where the person agrees to make monthly payments of some amount over a period of time. And then there'll just be an order saying, you know, this is how everybody agrees, this is how it's going to go. Again, I can't give you advice. I can't tell you that that's what you should do. I'm just saying oftentimes the credit card companies are not saying, hey, you have to give me all the money right now. They're willing to take payments, that sort of thing. So I do think that the two of you talking would be a good idea. And of course, if you work it out, let me know. If you don't work it out, then I'll see you on September the 27th by Zoom at 9 a.m. Mr. Freehoff will send out a Zoom link for you, so that you'll know what Zoom link to log into, and we'll have a hearing just like this. It'll be a little bit more formal. One thing that both of you should know, Ms. Gardner, is if you want it taken down, the court doesn't provide a court reporter for civil cases. So if you want it taken down, you'll need to arrange for your own court reporter. Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions for me, Ms. Gardner?
No.
No, could I get the number for Ms. Gardner?
Oh, yes, Ms. Gardner, can you please provide your phone number?
Yes. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I can give you the collections department number is 1-800-370-2251. And our office is 678-924-9644.
And so would I reach you at either one of those numbers, or should I just wait for you to call me then?
You can call the 678 number
Okay.
and speak with someone in our office. Just our general collections line is the 1-800 number.
So I wouldn't be speaking with you then, is that what you're saying?
You will speak with either me or our managing attorney, whose name is Mr. Keith Taylor.
Okay. And that's fine. I would suggest against requiring at this stage, Ms. Berry, to have to go through your collections line or whatever. I mean, the whole point is to get the two decision makers together, and you or Mr. Taylor would be the decision makers here along with Ms. Berry. So I'm sure you'll be reaching out, Ms. Gardner, to Ms. Berry, and then we will go from there. Anything else? Any questions for me, Ms. Berry?
No, thank you. I appreciate the information.
Okay, thank you.
And just, it's usually easier if we contact you, just we
That's
get a
fine.
lot of phone calls, so.
That's fine. It's
we'll be
my
reaching
son
out.
is in, well, moving into college this week, so I may or may not be able to open my phone or, get to my phone today if you were to call me. So that's the only reason why I was asking if there was an.
Okay, yeah, and that's our contact information. I just wanted to let you know, usually it is easier if we reach out
That's
to
fine.
you.
That's fine. I appreciate it.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you both for your time and for being here today and for working with me when we did the reschedule. I will look forward to seeing you, or actually I will look forward to y'all working this out and not seeing you on August the 27th, but otherwise I will see you on August the 27th. Thank you both, and good luck with
Thank
your
you,
son
Anna.
moving into college. My daughter is headed there this weekend as well, so.
A lot. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
All right.
It
thanks.
is. It
I
is.
appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good day, both of you, and
Thank you.
I'll see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I've seen some people jump on, so I'm going to run through this calendar real quick and see who we got. Let's see. Bank of America versus Gustavo Gomez. Anyone here that is here on behalf of Bank of America or Gustavo Gomez? Nope. Okay. Anyone here on behalf of LaShonda Lewis? Citibank versus LaShonda Lewis. Citibank versus Ignacio Rodriguez.
Ignacio is here.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is anyone here on behalf of Citibank? Okay. Is anyone here on behalf of Kinley Rexon? Citibank versus Kinley Rexon.
This is Rexon Kinley.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, sir. Do I have anyone here on behalf of Citibank? Mr. Freehoff, I know that you mentioned before the calendar call that your review of our docket did not indicate that anybody on behalf of that the attorneys representing Bank of America and Citibank in those 4 cases that I just called. No, they certainly have. I reviewed the file. They've not filed a motion for default as they were instructed to do. But I think you indicated that they hadn't even opened the notices. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Kinley and Mr. Rodriguez, this matter was set down for hearing today for Citibank to appear and explain why they were entitled to a judgment against you. But Citibank has not appeared, and Citibank has not filed the motion that they were ordered to file. And my notice very clearly says that if you fail to attend the hearing or comply with my orders, that this matter might be dismissed. And so I believe, Mr. Freehoff, is there anything else procedural that I need to know about these 4 cases?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So Bank of America versus Gustavo Gomez, Citibank versus LaShonda Lewis, Citibank versus Ignacio Rodriguez, and Citibank versus Rexon Kinley will be dismissed. for failure of those plaintiffs to prosecute their cases. Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Kinley, do y'all have any questions for me?
What does that mean in terms of being dismissed? Like, can you explain a little further, elaborate on that?
Well, I can't give you legal advice because I'm the judge and you're one of the parties in the case. But what I can tell you is that what will happen after today's hearing is I'm going to enter an order dismissing the case. Now, what Citibank may try to do with it later, that's entirely up to them. I have no control over their decision making, and I don't know anything about the timing of these cases. But for now, this case will be dismissed because they failed to comply with my court order and failed to appear.
Sounds good.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, I believe you contacted my office indicating that English was not your first language.
Yes, correct.
And so I want to make sure, are you able to share with him what I've just said, ma'am, that the case is being dismissed and they could rebring the case, but he
Yes.
won't need to worry about this case.
Okay. Dice que no te tienes que preocupar por este caso, porque lo que pasa es que ellos como no están aquí, no tienen como un caso, o ella lo va a quitar. Que ya lo que hagan ellos después ya es otra cosa, pero dice que ahorita este caso está, o sea, ya no es un caso.
Pero diles que de ese caso yo lo estoy pagando.
Oh, he just wanted to say about
¿Por
this
qué
case.
mandaron ese caso?
He's already paying for it. He's
No,
already paying Home
Le estoy
Depot.
pagando, ellos me hicieron un plan de pago.
They gave him a payment plan.
Yes,
So that's
ma'am.
what he's doing now.
Okay. Well, the case has gone away, right? As of now, the case has gone away. I'm not going to take any action against Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay.
If the credit card company brings it back up, then Mr. Rodriguez would need to assert any defenses he has, like that there's a payment plan and he's already paying on it. But
Okay.
for today, this case has gone away. It will be dismissed today, and Mr. Rodriguez won't have to worry about this case again. To be clear, the credit card company could try to bring it later. I don't know, but this
Okay.
case is dismissed. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.